Welcome to the 24-Hour Woman Show with Cheryl.
Hi, my name is Cheryl, CEO of LifeWorks, creator of the 24-Hour Woman, and welcome to another episode of the 24-Hour Woman Show. The topic that we're going to be looking at today is how do I build better relationships? That's a question that we get very often because as a 24-hour woman, we look after children, we have our elderly, adults, parents to look after. We work with co-workers. We ourselves are leaders to a team. Needless to say, we are our spouse and our partners and our people that are around us. That's a very critical question because I trust on a day-to-day basis you are interacting with humans and not robots. And therefore, what are some of the things that we can do more deliberately to build better relationships? I'm going to share with you 4 that I use and I've seen results in building better relationships, building bridges, if you like. The first is always praise in public, but critique in private. And I've seen that work time and time again. When you praise somebody in public, their self-esteem is enhanced and their confidence grow and they blossom. And when you are, if you need to do correction with anybody, if you recall, if it is a child or for yourself or somebody else, and you see somebody scolding a child out in public, how did the child feel? How do you think the child feels? Would you want to be in the position of the child? Well, that's exactly what we don't want to happen in relationships with others. We want to be building relationships. And I tend to then critique in private, because when you critique in private, it's just a conversation between you and the other person. It gives the other person the ability to sit and listen to you and to be open to what you have to say. And I think that is important, that there is a sense of openness that, of whatever you need to say to correct. And to correct in a manner out of love and out of care. And that allows you to create an environment where it's more accepting by the other person. The second, I would say, is to use soft words. And what do I mean by that? I mean words, the saying goes, if you use a harsh word, it stirs up anger even more. And when you're in a tense environment or situation, you don't want that to happen. In fact, you want to use words and you want to use the tone of voice that's soothe and calming, that actually helps you to neutralize or to minimize the kind of tension and the anger. How very often I would say I'll put this to you is when we are arguing or if we are in a negotiation. I'll just keep repeating in a calm, cool voice, and then the person settles down, taking it down one notch down the other, and then be able then to have a good conversation around what's important for the both of us or what actually happened. Because this then allows us to take away the emotions and take away our assumptions for us to deal with the situation. A great place to practice this if you are a parent or if you look after children is when they are when they did something wrong or you are angry with them or they did something that you told them not to. I very often sit my boys down and then I look at them, and the best thing to do with this is to have it eye to eye and then just keep repeating it. If they're crying, they're throwing a tantrum, just keep repeating it and calm them down. And then you begin to have a conversation with them to be then able to sort out what is the issue and be able to clear out any assumptions and to together find a solution or come to an agreement what was right and what was not. So that's the second. Use soft, calm words. The third thing I believe is in building a relationship is to know that we all complement one another. Unless you're playing, in competitive sports, then you're out against one another. But in most situations, you complement one another. You want to build good relationship. Play to the strengths of one another. We all have different talents. We all have different gifts. How do we come together so that we all win more than one win and less the other? So think about it when you are in a team, if you are a leader, what gifts do you bring to the team and how can you bring the best gifts out from each of your team members so that they complement. You build the relationship between yourself and your team and the team members themselves. How can you as a 24-hour woman complement the people in your community, complement the people that are in your workplace, complement your family members to ensure that everybody wins and that we are building the relationship with one another, particularly with your spouse. In an era where I think there's a fair bit of leveling of the playing field in the workplace, how do you ensure that you complement your spouse at home so that that we do allow each of us to bring the best of ourselves into the roles so that the relationship is enhanced? The last piece I would say is forgiveness. Forgive more quickly than being angry. That is, I believe, one of the most difficult pieces because it's difficult to forgive, particularly if we feel that a deep wrong has been done towards us. But in my experience, if you were to nurse the unforgiveness, you become a very ugly person yourself. And therefore, it is to our own benefit that we forgive and least the anger gets a hold of us and turn us into a different person that we are. And because often in our anger, we might say words or we might say things that we would regret later. And in my experience, both for myself and for others, I've seen this happen often. So be mindful that when you're angry, remember, use soft words, calm down yourself so that you do not say words or unkind words, or you say words that will hurt another person. These once out very often cannot be taken back, and relationships that are damaged in this way might take a long time, if not never recovers. The final piece I would leave with you is relationships are rare. If the person is in your sphere, is in your network, is in your oikos, they are there for a purpose. Spend time to build relationship, particularly with those that matters most to you. We don't hear often that people say, oh, I regret I didn't spend enough time at my work. Many a times we realize that for people I regret I didn't spend much time with my family, those that matters most to me. So do invest and build relationships that matters to you. So which of these of 4 methods of enhancing relationships would you be using immediately? I'd love to hear from you, any of your comments and your inputs. Come on over to the 24hourwoman.com blog. I'd love to hear your comments and which one of this will you start using immediately. Did you enjoy this episode? Well, if you did, then subscribe so that every single week you will receive the training in your inbox, and I'd love to have you as part of the community. Have you gotten my brand new book, The 24-Hour Woman, How High-Achieving Stressed Women Manage It All and Still Find Happiness? If not, come on over to the 24hourwomanbook.com and grab your copy right now. My name is Cheryl, CEO of LifeWorks, founder of the 24-Hour Woman. Till the next episode, live a life that's most excellent.